Hello guys, today I'm going to show you another trick in using HTML and CSS. I will show you how to design this navigation bar, which is responsive. It adapts itself according to the size of your screen. Let's say, for example, if I decrease, you see that this button appears here, and if I click on it, my menu will still appear um, aligned vertically. So if I increase my screen size, you see that the menu will appear on top uh, of the navigation bar. So that's what I'm going to show in this video. And so as usual, the first thing we need to do is to open the folder in which we want to store all our files. We'll open it in Visual Studio. So I created my folder and then I am opening it in Visual Studio. If you are using a different editor, you can still open it in that editor. And in my folder, I'm going to create my index.html file as usual. And then I'm also going to create my CSS file, and I'll call it style.css. Okay, so this is just the normal procedure. In my HTML file, I'm going to write that, enter. I have my the structure of my file here, and then I'm going to give a title to this web page. I will just call it responsive menu. Okay, so that's it. The next thing we need to do, as usual, is to link our CSS file inside our .html file. So I'll write link, and okay, this is pretty much the same thing all the time when I want to link my CSS file, and href. So I have created my file here, so it's in the same folder. So I will just write style, and I will make sure that I do not forget the .css at the end. And then I close the bracket. And the next thing I need to get is the font awesome. It's for icons. So I will need to go on the internet, on Google, and I'm gonna look for, I think I can get it, the link on Laboratory Schools. Okay, font awesome. And so I can get it here. I will just come and copy this script link, and then I'll paste it in my HTML file. So this link will allow us to use icons, text icons in this project. So that's pretty much it for the header, for the head of my code. So in the body, since it's a navigation bar that we are creating, I will start by the nav, my nav tag. And inside, I would like to give a label. And so my label Inside the label, I'll have another tag, and inside, okay, for the moment, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna leave it this way. And so in my, yes, I'll have a label. And I will give it a class of brand, and inside I will say colon river. So this is basically for example, if I had a logo and I wanted to put on my website, as you can see here, this coding river, I could put an image, I could put a logo, but for the time I don't have a logo, so I'm just going to put some text. So that's why I am given this label so that it will appear on my website. Okay, so after the label, I have to create my menu items. So now I'm going to use an unordered list or ordered list if I want. So here I say UL, and I'm going to give it a class of menu, and I will use it in my CSS when I'm going to style my pages. And then the LI, I will give it a class of sub menu item, and I'll close the bracket. So inside I want my menu items to be links, so I'll give them href. Okay, for the time being, I'm not creating other pages, so I'll just leave it like this. And I'll say home. Okay, so this is my menu item that I have created. It will appear here. So you have the menu items here. So I will just copy this and paste it down for the other menu items. So I say copy. I can copy like maybe 4 of them. Okay, so here I'll write company. I think that's it. And down I will say services. And here I will say pricing. And let me add another menu item where I will say blog. You know, some companies have blogs as well. So, and the last menu item, I will say contact. Okay. So that's pretty much it for our HTML code. So now it's time to style it. So if I want to have a look of how this is on a browser, so in my folder, I'll just come and click on the file and open it in the browser. So this is how it looks. So there's no styling, everything is just dry like this. So we use CSS to give much more styling to our page. Okay, so the first that we're going to style, we want to give us like a generic style to our page. And I will start with the font family. So just the usual stuff. And so what, okay, I will just pick this font that my editor is suggesting here. The second one, I will pick it. I think that's pretty much it. And then I will give the padding of let's say 0. The margin will also be 0. And the text decoration, I will also say none. Yeah. And after this list style will also be none for the time being. Box sizing will be border box. Okay. So that's pretty much the generic styling of the whole page. And now I'm going to style the body of my page. So in the body, I want to give, as you could see, okay, sorry. So here we have an image. Okay, so I will give a background image. Background image, and I will specify the URL where to find that image. So I have an image here which is in my folder, so the name of the image is image1. So that's, I'm just gonna put the name image1. Okay, and I will put dot jpg. Okay, if I don't put it, it's not going to pick. So styling my body again, I will say the margin. So I want my image to, you know, fill the whole screen. So I'll say margin 0, and the background size, I will say to cover. Okay, so that it will cover the whole screen. And okay, so that's it. So if I save this, I come back here. Okay, so I have my image as my background in my body. Okay, so let me go to my HTML. Which one is the next tag? Is the navigation tag. So I need to style this tag as well. So the navigation tag. Okay, I'll start by giving it a background color. I'll just say background, and I'll say white. Okay, let me say white. All right. And the height, I'll give it the height of, let me say 80 pixels. And then, so the width will be 100%. So I wanted to have the full width 100%. So if I come back, okay, so here we have the navigation. So 80 pixels is quite good, I think. Okay. So after the navigation, what should I style next? I have the label here. So I will style this class. Okay, so let me go to my CSS file. I will say, so label that brand. So brand is the name of the class. So this is to say that I want to style this class that I have defined in this tag label. Okay, And so I will give it the color. So I like the red, so I will go with DC00. I like this color. And so you can put whatever color you choose, whatever color you like that you think is nice. So for me, I will choose the red on the white background of my navigation. And I will give it the font size. Okay. Font size of, let me say 30 pixels. Okay. And the line height of 2.2. Okay. And the padding will be 100 pixels. And the font weight, so I would just say bold, okay, because I wanted to really show. Like I said, if I had like a logo, I could have put my logo there, put an image, but since I am not using a logo, so I want to make it be bold so that it will be like noticeable. Okay, so that's it right here. So the next thing I would want to style would be so this unordered list, and I have the class, which is the menu class. Okay, so I'll go in my CSS. So I'll say that I want to style the menu class, which is in my navigation. So I'll say nav that menu. Okay. And so I will say that I want my menu to float right. Okay. I want it to be on the right. And so if I save this, so, okay. And I'll come back. I think I have a mistake, an error somewhere. Oh, that's why it's not picking. I put 2 colon. Then I save this. Okay, so now I have it on the right here. And so I want it, because it's really on the right, I want to put a margin. Okay, so I'll say margin right. So I'll add some margin on the right, or let me say 50 pixels. Okay, so I think that will be it. If I save and then refresh this, okay, so you see there's a distance between my menu and the right side. Okay, so now I want my menu items to appear, and I want them to appear horizontally. So now it's vertically appearing here, so I want it to be horizontal, you know, to be like this. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to say, so I want my navigation, my menu items that are in the menu, and I say that menu item. So I think that's what I called it here. So this is my list. I say menu item. All right. Menu item. Okay. And I will say I will. So if I want them to appear in an horizontal form, I will say display. Let me say inline. Okay, yeah, inline block. Let me save this and see what is happening. Okay, so that's it. So I'll add a little bit more of styling. I would say line height. So I want it to appear in the middle, somewhere here in the middle of this of my navigation tag. So I need to add a line height. Let me say, what did I say? Okay, let me give it line height of 50. Let me see. Now let me say 2.2. If this is going to, now I already used the pixels. Let me add, say 80. I think that's pretty cool. Okay, so after this, so I want to put some margin between my menu items. So I would imagine 0 and 10. Okay. Yeah, so some spacing between them. So now I would like to style my my menu items, but I would like to style this tag, the A, okay? Each link, I want to style each link in my menu item. So I will copy this and paste it. Oh, sorry, I did not copy. Copy and paste. So I will remove this and I'll add the tag A here. So to specify that it's the tag, this tag A, find in this class, that you can find in this class that I want to style. Okay. And I will say that its color must be, the color of the font must be black. Okay. And I want the font size, I would say 20 pixels. And I will give padding. The padding will actually add much more let me see what it will actually do. I have saved it. Okay, so I think that's pretty cool. And okay. One other thing I would like to add is that whenever I put my mouse on this, I wanted to have a certain background color. So how I should do that is I'll say A over, oh, sorry, my bad. And I would also want to say that whenever any of these links, or like if I say, I want to say if this link is active, the home link is active, I want it also to have a certain background color. Okay, so say comma and okay, so I will say comma and say a that active, and I'll say background. So I'll give it the red background, just like this one here. So I'll say DC 0, 0, okay. And I would want the color of the font to be white. So I'll say white. I think that's it. And I will need to add some effect. Some 20 seconds. So that means the transition from the color, because I said the color, you know, if I'm not hovering my mouse on it, the color is black. And now I'll say if I want to hover, I am hovering my mouse on this link, I want the color to be white. And this transition is just to say, okay, the color should change to white, you know, in 5 seconds after I have hovered my mouse over this link. So yeah, so now you can see that when I put my mouse on it, the color is red. I think the color white is not picking, so I will force it to pick, I'd say important. And let us see what it's going to do. Okay, so that's it. So you see that the color is white now. So I want to add a border radius to this link to make it look much more beautiful. Border radius, I will say 5 pixels. Or what if I say 10 pixels? Okay, so this is how it looks. And for this part active, I need to add it in my code. So I'll come back to my HTML. And okay, let me say, for example, in this link, I want to say class active. I'll call this class active. So that means that whenever any class having this type of any link, my bad, having this type of class active, its background color will be red. Okay, its background color will be this one, and the color will be white. So let me see if it's picking. Okay, so that's it. So because our home, if you can see in this HTML, is having this class, the link is having the class active. So that's why when I refresh my page, you see that the home link is having this background of red, and the font color is white. But here, if I hover, it's white. The font color is white and the background is red. I think that's pretty much it. And so the next thing I would want to style would be I would like to add a button. Okay, because if you can see here in this example, like when I reduce the size, we have this button here. Okay, so I would like to add it, and then I will later on style it. So I'll come back to my HTML code and I will add an input tag, and I will say the type of that input tag is going to be a checkbox, and so I'll give it an ID of check. Okay, and then I will give a label, and inside the label, so this label, I will say it's for this ID check, and I'll give it the class name. I will say button check. Okay, and inside this label I will have another tag. Now say it's class. So this class is for the font awesome that the link that we copied and pasted in our code, this link. Okay, so that's when I write this class, it's going to give us the bars. Okay, this like icon. Okay, yeah, this icon. Okay, so thanks to the link that I have here, if I write class FAS, FA bars, I will be able to get that in my design. So I've saved it. And so now I need to style it. So what I need to style will be, so I'll start with the class, the button check class, and inside I'll give it a font size of 30 pixels, and the color, its color will be I would say red. Okay, and I will have it float right, and the line line height will be 2.2. Margin this would be the margin, right? So I'll give it the same margin right that I gave to my menu item, my menu here. Yeah. So it will have the same margin, right? This is 50 pixels. And I will add some more style. Let's say, okay, I think that's pretty cool. And I would say display none. Like if and our display so that means I don't want to display it when I have my full screen here. Okay, and next I will also style the ID. This ID I gave here, this ID I gave to the input. I'll give just a simple style. And the ID was check. Let's call check. Okay. And I will just say display none. So I don't also want to display it, this input. All right, so now I will start styling to make my design responsive. So here I will specify the width, and inside this I will redefine my CSS. So to basically tell my to tell the browser, okay, so if you have this particular width, I want you to style my design elements this particular way. Okay, so here I will redefine certain of my tags again, like my brand. Okay, the name this that we have here. So I want to say that, okay, if I reduce my the width of the browser, I want this brand to have this font size. Okay, font size, I would want to reduce the font size to maybe say 28, and its padding left would also be 50 pixels. Okay, so, and apart from that, I would also want to style my navigation, to redefine my navigation style, and the menu item. Okay, so I will say that I will just change the font size. The font size will be this one. Okay. Okay. I think that's Okay, so I will define another scenario. I would say media and max width. And here I would say 80 pixels. So I'll pretty much do the same thing. I will redefine certain tags. So here I'll say button check. I'll still say that I don't want to just display it. I'll say display none. And what else? I think this is going to be it. The next thing I would want to style would be the menu. So for the menu, I will give it a position of fixed. Okay. The width would be 100% based on the max width, on the width of the browser. So whenever you reduce, so it will fill it will be 100%. And I'll also give this height. Okay. After the height, I need to give it a background. So I want a black background, but that is going to be transparent. So that's how I'm going to style it. I'll say RGBA 0, comma 0, comma 0, comma 0 point, let me say 0.7. Okay, and top, I would say, what can I say here? 50 pixels. I think that will be okay. And left. This to be 100. Percent. And the text align, I want the text of my links, for example, to align in the center. And I'll put an effect, I'll say transition. So all will be transitioning. Let me just say 5 seconds. Okay. I think that's it for the menu. So I think the menu is okay. So next, I would want to style my navigation menu again, and the menu item. I think I could have done that before, but so here I will say that I want them to display vertically. Okay, if I can just give you an example here. For example, when I scroll down, you see my menu is displaying vertically. Okay, but when I increase, the menu is displaying horizontally. So here, that's where I'm going to specify that I needed it to display vertically. So I would just say display block, and then I will just give some margin again. So the margin will be 50 pixels, 0, and the line height, let me say 30 pixels. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So I'll just copy this one and paste and add a tag that I want to restyle. So here I would just say that I want its font size to be 20 pixels, and I want the color to be white. Okay. So all that I am doing here, I'm just trying to make it responsive. The next thing I would want to style, I would just come here and copy this one. And paste it down here. What did I do? I didn't copy it, seems like. Copy. Yeah, so, and so I think that's it. I will just maybe, yeah, just remove this and remove this one. Okay. Okay. And then what I'm going to do, so I want, because we have said that our menu will be minus 100%. That means that from the left, it's going to be minus. So it's not going to show, for example, it will be hiding on the left side of the page. So we wanted to like show whenever we click on the button. So that's where we need to add the ID. We need to add some styling to the ID. We say check here. And then we say checked. So like that means if you click on this ID, you need to make sure that this unordered list is going to have a left of 0. Okay, so that is basically to say, okay, if you click on that button, like checked, because we said in the HTML here that the input is going to be the check box. So that's why we are saying in the CSS that if you, when you click on that input, which is represented by this label is the FA bars that we have here. So if you click on that, that means you've checked it. And all we are saying that if you check it, we want our unordered list to have this left of 0. Okay. So, and the unordered list will basically affect the menu because the menu class is defined inside the unordered list tag. Okay, that's pretty much what he's saying. So that's why you will see that if you click on, if you reduce this, sorry, I will refresh. If that's after refreshing, my button is not showing. I think there's maybe something with the code. Okay, so this button check, I said display none, so I should actually say display block. Okay, I think this will work. And I refresh. So that's pretty much it. So now it's showing here. Okay. So I need to make this. Okay, so I think the mistake is here in the nav menu. I'm not supposed to put a space there. So if I save it and then I refresh, and let me say that, okay, that's it. So when I click, now I can see that my menu is appearing. So that's pretty much it. So I would try to, so let me check. Okay, this one is supposed to be that 5 seconds. Okay. Okay, well, that's it. All right, that's pretty much it. I think there's a problem with this bar. I want it to be centered here at the middle, the same line with Coding River, this text that we have here, this label. So let me look in the code. One way we can do that is to, okay, inside here, we're gonna give it a margin top of, let's say 20 pixels. So we will just see, okay, so I think 20 pixels, or let me reduce it a little bit. Let me say 18. Okay. Okay, I think this one is pretty much it. So if I click, I have my menu that is coming from the left. Okay. You know, when I click, when the box is checked, the menu appears coming from the left. If I click again, it disappears. Okay, so that's was the reason why we needed to have this input, this checkbox, so that whenever we going to click on it, this is what is specified here in the CSS. Whenever this input button is clicked or is checked, you know, the left side will have to be 0. So if you click again, that means that you have unchecked it. The left, you know, will be minus 100%. That means that it's not going to show. So that's pretty much the reason why we have that there. Okay, when you click, it shows because the left is 0%. When you click again, it's unchecked. The left becomes 100%. minus 100%. So that's pretty much it. So now I have reduced the size of the browser. So now you can see that the menu is showing vertically. And so if I increase, the menu is now showing horizontally. If I decrease, it's showing vertically. If I increase, it's showing horizontally. So now we have a navigation bar which is responsive. That means according to the size of your browser, it is appearing nicely. So that was it, guys, in this video. I just wanted to show you how you can do that in using HTML and CSS. And I hope this video has been informative. And if you like it, don't forget to comment, to like, and to subscribe to this channel for more videos like this one. Thanks a lot for viewing.